What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track, back with another video coming off Chicago, the street course. Fun race, I thought. I know the rain kind of interfered with what could have been an even better event. But I think the race was great. We didn't have Bowman. We had Reddick. Who else did we have? Ty Gibbs was another one. I think I had Busher down there, but Reddick, of course, finished second. It looked like rather, he was making a charge late. I thought he was going to get there. It probably would have been tough for him to actually pass Bowman cleanly. I think he could have done it. I mean, I think if he doesn't clip that wall and he maintains his speed, he had about 3/4 of a lap. I think he absolutely would have caught Bowman. But the question is, like, would he have passed him for the win? Cleanly, no, but I know he's kind of, I wouldn't have been surprised if he put the bumper to him to try to bump him out of the way. So it is what it is. We had a good, solid, I think, understanding of what Chicago was going to be. McDowell was the other guy that we had. He had a good solid run. He made a dumb decision early that kind of took him out of any contention he had to win. But of course, he drives all the way up to top 5 at the end of that. So again, good understanding of who was going to be fast. Reddick was right there to win. Like I mentioned, McDowell with a top 5. Ty Gibbs was good all day long. It turned out to be a strategy race. Bowman and his crew chief won that obstacle, and that's how Bowman got the win. It was good to see Bowman win. I'm happy for him. But we move on, and now we've got Pocono, which honestly recently has been one of my favorite tracks to watch. I've really enjoyed what they've done to get rid of not the doubleheader, but 2 dates at Pocono. They did have, a doubleheader during the COVID year, I believe. And so, I like Pocono. I think it's a fun track to watch. I think the racing has been good. The fan attendance has been great the past couple of years in really the next gen era. So feeling pretty good about this week's card. Not a crazy card, because I feel like a lot of the outrights are more props of what I'm looking at. But I feel like I have a good understanding of what we will be seeing this Sunday afternoon. Real quick, let's mention the partnership with the NASCAR Betting Preview Show. The live NASCAR Betting Preview Show, live on X, 8 p.m. Wednesdays, Eastern Standard Time. As well as plenty of great podcasts that you can listen to. However you consume your podcast, whether that be Spotify, the podcast app, just look up the NASCAR Betting Preview Show. You hit that follow button and plenty of good motorsports betting content for you all to just get that brain, working so you can hear some good bets for the weekend. So with that, let's get into Sunday's race. So I am going to start, I guess, with some kind of underdog bets, some dark horse stuff, some stuff that you could really make some big money on. And I'm going to start with one that is a winning team bet of Front Row Motorsports. So when I look at Front Row, overall, they've had speed on super speedways and flat tracks. You saw Michael McDowell have a great car at Gateway, led most of the first stage, didn't get the result he wanted. Again, like a dumb strategy call. Seems to kind of be a recurring theme with McDowell. But I actually think McDowell and Front Row as a whole with Gillen are going to bring fast cars to this larger flat track. I feel like this plays right into that team's strength. Ford overall has been really solid on the flat tracks. So, and then on top of that, you look at like their careers. Todd Gillen, really good, solid results at Pocono. Michael McDowell, even when he was, not running as good as he is now with Front Row, he would still have top 15 results at Pocono. This is a very good track for Michael McDowell. And like I said, Todd Gillen and the couple times he's raced here in the Cup Series, as well as the Xfinity Series, the Truck Series rather, he's been really darn good as well. So front row, I don't know what this is going to open at, quite frankly, but I would probably assume it's close to like plus 8,000. I think it's going to be a good bet for you to at least look at and sprinkle on. I would not be again surprised if Michael McDowell is up there, in the top 5 in qualifying and practice. I think he's going to bring a really solid car. Let's couple that with also the results that we've seen Todd Gilliland recently. He over the last like 6, 7 races, he has one of the best average finishes in the series. So if you don't like them for winning team, I would take them both for a top 10. McDowell obviously riding a nice result, top 5, like I said, at Chicago. So just a little something there. I think 2 guys that you could definitely throw a winning team bet on. Huge money line bet, right? Like large number. I think they're around plus 10,000 each of them right now. So you could throw a little bit on their money line as well as top 10s, which I think are very fair bets for the 2 front row motorsports drivers. I'm going to also look at Eric Jones for a top 10. And again, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line because this is in the next gen era, one of Eric's best tracks. It's Darlington and it's been Pocono. 2 ninth places back-to-back years in the next gen era at Pocono. Let's take a look. iFantasy Race has the stats here. He's top 15 in overall speed. He has a really solid average running position at this track as well. And restarts are they definitely are wild here at Pocono, right? Very wide track, different lanes you can run, especially on the restart. Guys are aggressive. There's blocks. And I feel like Eric Jones is going to be driving pretty aggressively because I quite frankly think that this is a track where he feels like he's going to have a shot to get close to a win. There's two places left besides here that I could see Eric Jones, squeezing a win out, right? It would be Daytona or it'd be that Southern 500. But this team has not had speed. He's had 1 top 10 all season. I think this is a track that he's going to come to with great confidence. I feel like he's kind of over that injury that he had that took him out of 2 races. Now he comes to a track where he feels comfortable at. I like Eric Jones top 10, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on that money line. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to get DraftKings up for the most recent money line number on Eric Jones. I believe he was plus 10,000 when I looked a little bit earlier, but want to make sure I have it correct. So he's plus 11,000. And then for those front row bets, you've got McDowell and Gilliland on DraftKings at 13,000, plus 13,000 for McDowell and Gilliland. Eric Jones plus 11,000. No top 10 bets listed yet on DraftKings, but I feel, those guys are all going to be plus money. I don't know, maybe around the plus 500 mark, right around there. I feel like that's a fair number. But again, top 10s I would place for all 3 of those drivers. All right, now let's look at some guys that are, more of the favorites here this weekend. I like a prop bet. I like Toyota to be the winning manufacturer. As you look down this list, you've got Denny Hamlin, the fastest in the next gen era at Pocono. Then you've got Truex tied for 4th with Reddick. Then Bell is 6th. You go down to Ty Gibbs. He's listed at 16th, tied 16th with Keselowski, but he actually had the 5th fastest speed here last year. And his first ever Cup Series race was at this track. And although he didn't have a ton of speed, he still finished in the top 15. So Ty Gibbs, I feel like this is a track where he could get his first win. His money line number is 14-1. I don't love that. I'd like it closer to the 20-1 number. So maybe if he slips up a little bit in practice, slips up a little bit in qualifying, maybe we can get it closer to that 17-1 number. But I don't know. I feel like that's going to stick around 14-1, quite frankly. And then honestly, a lot of the rest of these guys here, right? Hamlin at 4-1, although he's been, this is his best track in the Cup Series. I tend to think it is. He has close to double-digit wins at this track. Denny Hamlin is a Pocono monster. But quite frankly, 4-1, I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it. I hope he slips up a little bit, qualifying a little bit in practice. Maybe we can get that closer to that 7-1 number. But I feel really confident of Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr., Reddick, Gibbs. Let's see. I honestly, even Bubba, who's top 10 in overall speed here. I feel like all of those guys could win this weekend's race. So I feel pretty confident in Toyota to be the winning manufacturer there, minus 115. I feel like you can shop around there and get that closer to even money, but I feel pretty comfortable placing that bet even at minus 115. I see great value there. And then a deeper dive, right? Like I talked about Denny's record at this track. Bell at flat tracks, that's what Pocono is. That's where he rules this series at this point. Martin Truex Jr., great average finish in his career here at Pocono. And then, like I mentioned, Ty Gibbs had a good Cup debut at Pocono, as well as being very fast here last year. The last guy that I want to highlight is none other than Kyle Busch, 22-1. This is a feeling that this really is. This is a feeling that he was the fastest car at Pocono in 2022 when he was driving with Joe Gibbs Racing. He was only the 17th fastest last year now with RCR at this track. But I do feel like after that good, solid top 10 result that Kyle Busch had at Chicago, I feel like Kyle is going to start clicking here to end the season. I see a win. I don't know where, I don't know how, but I just have a feeling that Kyle Busch is going to squeeze a win out. And I would not be surprised if it's this Sunday at Pocono, but I do like Kyle Busch for a top 10, for a top 5. I think Kyle is going to come with a good, solid race car, and I would not be surprised if he finds his way to victory lane at 22-1. Kyle Busch is the final bet. Let me run through them real quick. Toyota winning manufacturer. I think there's value. Like if you want to place any of those Joe Gibbs Racing guys, feel free. I mean, I can't blame you. Again, I'm probably going to look and wait a little bit on Denny. In my opinion right now, the best value is Truex at plus 750. That's where I see most of the value right now. But again, Toyota winning manufacturer, maybe Joe Gibbs Racing team bet as well. Eric Jones top 10 and also his money line at plus 11,000. I think you can sprinkle some there. Front row, both those drivers plus 13,000 for their money lines as well as top 10s there. And Kyle Busch 22-1 as well as his top 10, his top 5 as well. I'm high on Kyle this week. There it is. That's the card, but you can find the final card with all my bets. Johnny on the Track on Action Network at JOTT_podcast on X. Want to know what you guys think? Put your thoughts in the comments section below. Give this video a like. It goes a long way for the channel. And of course, subscribe for more motorsports betting content. We're getting close to the end of the regular season. Indy is next weekend. I will be heading to Indy for the Brickyard 400. Excited about that. But right now, we've got to win some money. So let's do it this Sunday at Pocono. Thanks for watching.